Everybody, it's Lisa with the Vintage Gypsy. I'm also the admin of a Facebook group called Silhouette School for Newbies. I'm going to show you real quick a couple of different ways that you can weld. That was a question on the board today, and I actually didn't have a video for something as basic as welding. Go me. So I'm going to do a real quick one, and I'll get that posted out there today. So typically, I'm going to delete my stuff here. What you can do is most script fonts actually need to be welded. So I'm going to type in a word, and you do that by clicking on the left toolbar, and you click on the A, and then you're going to make sure you click on it, and you're going to type in the word that you want. I'm going to type in script. Okay. Now remember, my screen may look differently than yours because I have my preferences set up differently. My page setup is set up differently than yours, and I run Business Edition. Anything I'm going to do today, you can do in Basic or Designer as well. So I'm going to select my word or my quote or whatever it is, and you're going to click on this A if you don't already have it open. If you hover over things in the software, it makes you look uber duper smart. Open textile panel. That means show me all the fonts I have. And I don't know if you know this or not, but you can actually click in this little box here, start typing in the name of the font, and it takes you down to that part of the alphabet. Click on the font name, and it changes it. So I'm going to zoom in a bit, and I want to show you what it means when you need to weld. Move some of this stuff out of the way here. So if I zoom in on where all the little cursive letters connect, so you're going to hear script or cursive letters is what you need to do, cursive fonts. If this were to cut right now, it would cut 1, 2, 3, 4 places. So you want to eliminate that. You want the font to look like you actually wrote it and it's a nice smooth flow. If you don't weld it, so we would be welding like if we made decals, HTV, stuff like that. If we don't weld, people will look at our stuff and be like, you're a newbie, you don't know what you're doing. That's not the case. Some people just don't know how to weld, and we're going to show you real quick how to do it. In the software, there's at least 3 different ways to do one thing in here. So you need to find the way that you like best. So to weld, if I wanted to weld this, what we're going to focus on is these little pieces. See where these connectors are? We want those to go away. So one way to do it is select the quote, right-click, and weld. Or if you go up to this quick access toolbar, the only way it shows up is if you have something selected. See, I don't have it now. I select on my quote. This little icon here, if you hover over it, it says weld. So weld. What you're going to see is, see all these little boxes? Basically, it's telling me that these words or letters are no longer stuck together. It's kind of like Velcro. We've pulled the Velcro apart, so now we need to put the Velcro back together. You can right-click and group, see group, or you can go up here and hover over these icons, and it says group selected shapes. The quick access toolbar is going to save you time. Okay. Another place where weld lives is in the modify button. You notice that these two look very similar. You can weld from here too. There's at least 3 ways to do one thing in the software. So now I'm going to zoom in really close. The overcuts are now gone. So now it'll cut in one smooth motion. There'll be no overcuts. Overcuts look like a professional, which is what you want to do. Okay, so that's real quickly how you would do some welding for your fonts. Oh, another thing I want to tell you, a little tip, is if I click on this, I cannot tell what this font is any longer. Because once you weld something, you no longer know what the font is. So if I go back and type in, let's just say I type in my name, okay, and I want to go find a font. Click on this and I go where? Over here to my textile panel, start typing in, right? Click on my font, so here it is. Now I do know that I would need to weld this one, right? But if I weld it, so let's go back up to this top one. If you double click on it, you can never tell what font this is. See, when I double click this, it takes me to the font. So you can I usually always make a copy so I have a backup. But anymore, what I've been doing is I go over here to this little note section. See how it's a little note? And I put a note in here. So go to your textile panel here and start typing in that font. Now watch. I can select it, right click and copy, and then I can go into my note and right click and paste. The advantage to doing it this way is if you lose all the fonts on your computer, your hard drive dies and takes all your fonts with you. This one over here we made a copy of will not show what font it is because it's not loaded on the actual computer anymore. This little note will never go away, and you can go and research and figure out where you purchased this font or found it on a font or wherever you got it from. So that's just another little quick tip to save you down the road with your fonts. So there's some welding tips for you guys. Real fast, down and dirty. If you guys have any questions, you can always get a hold of me on the board, So Let's School for Newbies, or message me on Facebook. Have a great day. Thanks.